And not only is the THC still forming in the plant, I think up to 14 days after it's been cut down. Like, there's lots of chemical changes. It's not just evaporating water. One of the other more critical ones that should be occurring more is the curing of essential oils that is, if done properly and hung in a room like this, where the plant oils kind of almost like seep out down and are kept in the plant, as opposed to it being chopped all up and dried as soon as possible. It makes for a huge difference. We know very well at our club that you can get it dry in 7 or 8 days, but the difference in taste and burn, if we hold on to that pot for a week or sometimes 10 days even after it's been dried, it makes a huge difference. And we can have pot that tastes like shit one day that a week later is really nice medicine. And it's been a little trick to learn that, because sometimes when it comes in dry, you figure it's ready, but it often can be best to hold on to it. The curing of it is just really, really critical, and too often, because people don't want to be holding on to a whole bunch of pot when they still have a grow room and everything. They just want to get it out of the house or whatever as soon as possible, and it's really unfortunate because it can dramatically affect the benefits that a plant can have. And far too many people throw out the leaf and stuff when there's really, really good medicine, not just hash that can be made, but now a lot of people are making hash as well. But I just can't say enough if there are people growing out there to save it, and if they can't use it themselves, find someone who will. Donate a bunch at the local food bank. I'm sure somebody will film it taken.
Donate to you.
Well, we'll take it if obviously if there's a medical club in the community, yeah, bring it on. This is really more for the chemistry lecture, but I really like looking at trichomes and trying to get an understanding of how and why they work. They're beautiful. In fact, we watched a video last year at our film festival, Cannabis, that was a really neat video of first little plants sprouting and gradually, at times quickly, towards the state of trichome production. And there's lots of nice pictures of the trichomes and stuff. I really think this one's pretty cute.
Yeah.
It's got a fully matured trichome. One of the other issues with people growing is far too often they cut it prematurely. Sometimes hard to tell. Each strain is a little bit different, and sometimes because of the humidity or whatever, the plants don't always come off. Like 8 weeks. It might have been better to wait for a day or two. It's really hard to tell. You can take a microscope and look at it, but what you're really looking for is these full, almost mushroom crystal formations. And sometimes you'll see crystals that almost look like hairs on plants, and that is a sign that it was taken down too early. On other occasions, you'll see plants and it looks like someone has sprinkled sugar almost on them, and that means that not only did they allow the trichomes to form fully, but that they've done a really good job curing, because as I said too many times, people grow this intensely beautiful herb and then do this fast dry on it, which will in some ways almost force these things to just dry up and fall off. And then you get all the crystal in the bottom of the bag or the bottom of the table or the bottom of the floor or whatever. But if it's cured more slowly and these things aren't just dried up real quickly, again, the essential oils and stuff that were in this last picture, see, this is where like the chemistry of this thing is just so neat. Like, and there's so many layers, because obviously like this is not just THC. There's essential oils and other chemicals that bind it together. And so when we make the hash that's using this, well, sure, it's mostly THC, but there's other stuff going in there. my understanding is the essential oils are almost as important as the THC content. Either way, that's really just a scratch of the surface of different considerations and ideas when it comes to growing cannabis.